After the success of the movie Crybaby, Kim McGuire, the unforgettable Hatchetface, seemingly vanished from Hollywood. From John Waters' muse to a courtroom advocate, her life after the cult classic will leave you shocked. In this episode of Celebrity Afterlife, we remember the life of Kim McGuire and answer the burning question, what really happened? And more importantly, help to keep her memory alive. Kim Diane McGuire, born December 1, 1955, in New Orleans, Louisiana, was a woman of diverse talents. Daughter of attorney Raymond McGuire and Mary Toole, she earned degrees in education, theater, and dance from the University of New Orleans, and a Juris Doctorate from Loyola University. Beyond her stage and screen work, she also practiced criminal law, advocated for children in multiple states, and worked in entertainment law in California. Kim McGuire's passion for performing ignited early. After landing a role in the film Crybaby, she expressed her lifelong ambition, stating, "This has been my dream since I was 3. I started off as a dancer and said I wanted to make myself as triple threat as possible and do Chekhov and Shakespeare. I just think it's so magical. I hate to say it, but I've always wanted to be a star." In early 1985, John Waters revealed his work on a script for Hatchetface, a film concept centered on a woman grappling with multi-level beauty problems. While this specific project never materialized, the character concept evolved and was later integrated into the creation of Crybaby. The character Malnorowski in Crybaby, a loud and visually striking member of Johnny Depp's gang, is thought to have been originally envisioned by John Waters for Divine. Divine, a longtime collaborator and iconic figure in Waters' films, passed away in March 1988 before Crybaby went into production. When John Waters began casting for the role of Hatchetface in March 1989, the character was described as a striking juxtaposition. She's got the body of Jane Mansfield and the face of Margaret Hamilton, and nobody gives her grief. This description highlighted the character's unique physical presence and formidable personality. To find the perfect Hatchetface, John Waters took a unique approach, placing a print advertisement that boldly stated, "Wanted, girl with a good body and an alarming face who is proud of it." Interested actresses were instructed to mail recent photographs to Crybaby Productions, 222 St. Paul Place, Baltimore, Maryland. In the 2005 documentary, It Came from Baltimore, McGuire recounted her serendipitous casting. "I had just randomly sent my picture to 6 casting directors that week. I sent it to casting director Paula Harold, who was casting for a film called Reversal of Fortune, which I had no idea what it was about. And I guess I had a reversal of fortune because they called me in for Crybaby." For her role in Crybaby, Kim McGuire's already distinctive features were dramatically amplified with elaborate makeup, resulting in a look one critic described as a cubist poster child. The transformation was so profound that John Waters later remarked, "That face that she wears in the movie is certainly makeup. Kim has a very blank face in real life." McGuire herself humorously commented on the contrast, saying, "When people see me after seeing that, they think I look really good." Following the completion of Crybaby in July 1989, test screenings revealed Kim McGuire's exceptional performance as Hatchetface. Her reception was so positive that director John Waters opted to include additional scenes featuring the character. A subsequent 2-week period of filming in November resulted in 2 new Hatchetface sequences being added to the final version of the film. In his review for New York Magazine, David Denby highlighted Kim McGuire's performance, noting the presence of a startlingly ugly baby tramp, Hatchetface, played, with makeup spread all over her face, by the masochistically courageous Kim McGuire. Another critic remarked on McGuire's performance, describing her screwed-up face as an object of much bad taste flouting hilarity. Critics were consistently vivid in their descriptions of Kim McGuire's portrayal of Hatchetface. She was variously described as a hideously contorted floozy by the New York Times, gorgeously grotesque by Newsweek, a character with a mug like silly putty with eyes by The Advocate, and a sort of junior Margaret Hamilton by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Reviews also drew comparisons to Divine, with the Boston Globe noting, "Divine's kind of generous outrageousness comes from Kim McGuire as a tough-talking, tough-looking character called Hatchetface." Another critic observed, "Divine's rubber-faced antics find a new home in the actress Kim McGuire's Hatchetface." While another simply stated, "The closest thing to an old-time Waters face is Mona Hatchetface Malnorowski, as played, with twisted face, by someone named Kim McGuire." John Waters recognized Kim McGuire's talent, calling her a definite starlet on the rise, and expressing regret that she wasn't cast in Dick Tracy. Following Crybaby's release, McGuire became a fixture on the Hollywood social scene, attending film premieres like Postcards from the Edge and Wild at Heart, as well as numerous high-profile parties and events. In February 1990, during the Crybaby cast and crew screening, Kim McGuire was already engaged in her next project, Charles Winkler's horror film Disturbed, alongside Malcolm McDowell. Shortly after, she was cast opposite James Caan in Rob Reiner's adaptation of Stephen King's Misery, even without securing an agent. However, she was ultimately replaced by Kathy Bates in the role of Annie Wilkes, a performance that earned Bates an Academy Award for Best Actress. Despite losing the Misery role, Kim McGuire continued her acting career. She appeared in the TV movie Acting on Impulse, 1993, and had an uncredited cameo in John Waters' Serial Mom, 1994. Her unique appearance was also featured in the HBO series Dream On in 1990 and David Lynch's short-lived series On the Air in 1992, which, despite its quirky charm, was canceled after only 3 episodes. Similar to Crybaby, David Lynch's On the Air was also set in the 1950s. Kim McGuire played Nicole Thorne, a shrewish publicist. This role allowed her to move away from the Hatchetface persona. She noted in an interview that after Crybaby, producers expected a big, ugly 6-foot-tall actress during auditions, contrasting with her actual 5-foot stature. "This series, I hope, will make people forget me as Hatchetface," she stated, expressing her excitement about working with David Lynch and enjoying the opportunity to appear groomed with my hair in place and wearing decent clothes. One memorable episode featured a magician's bizarre tricks, leading a critic to describe a scene involving McGuire as a must-see, if only for the nightmarishly fly-like image of Kim McGuire, stepping out of a vanishing box with her head on the body of a skittering iguana. By the mid-1990s, Kim McGuire's acting career had largely concluded. In December 1997, she transitioned to law, becoming a member of the California State Bar and practicing entertainment and appellate law in Los Angeles. The September 11th attacks left her and her Emmy-winning television producer husband, Gene Piotrowski, unemployed in New York. They then relocated to Biloxi, Mississippi, where her parents owned a vacation home in the Holy Land District. Though focusing on her legal career, Kim McGuire and her husband, Gene Piotrowski, remained connected to the arts. In September 2002, they joined the Mississippi Repertory Theater Company, with McGuire serving as legal counsel and Piotrowski as director of marketing and advertising. In September 2005, Hurricane Katrina devastated the Gulf Coast, leaving Kim McGuire and her husband, Gene, homeless. They lost all their possessions, with the exception of Piotrowski's Emmy Award, which was recovered broken from the ruins of their home. In the wake of Hurricane Katrina's destruction, Piotrowski reflected on their repeated encounters with disaster, telling a reporter, "Though they plan and equip themselves for something like this, it's never enough. We ought to know. We lived in L.A. during the 1994 earthquake. We were visiting New York on 9/11s, and now we live through this." I told a friend about all of that, and he said, "Do me a favor and tell me where you're moving to next." The couple initially found temporary shelter in a local grade school with 300 other survivors, before moving to more permanent housing in Mobile, Alabama. By November 2005, Kim McGuire had secured a temporary license to practice law in Alabama, focusing on family law. She was officially admitted to the Alabama State Bar in September 2006. After a period of inactivity in California, she was readmitted to the California State Bar in April 2010. In July 2005, Kim McGuire's iconic portrayal of Hatchetface in Crybaby gained renewed attention with the film's DVD release as a director's cut. She joined several original cast members, including Johnny Depp, Amy Locane, Tracy Lords, Ricky Lake, Darren E. Burroughs, and Stephen Mailer, for a short documentary featured as a special feature on the DVD. This introduced her memorable performance to a new audience. Regarding the Crybaby reunion for the DVD release, John Waters commented on seeing Kim McGuire again, saying, "We found all the people today, including Hatchetface." I hadn't seen Hatchet's face since we made the movie almost 20 years ago. She looked great. She looked like a regular middle-aged woman. But she looked very different to how she does in the movie, so it was kind of startling. On September 13, 2016, Kim McGuire was hospitalized in the ICU at Physicians Regional Hospital in Naples, Florida, due to pneumonia. Tragically, she did not respond to treatment, suffered a cardiac arrest, and passed away the following day. Kim was 60 years old. Do you have a favorite John Waters film? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's video. I post new videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. So be sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell to catch every episode where we dive into the Celebrity Afterlife.